Now, I just wanted to share something today. A lot of times during my fight with cancer, which was 24 months, and I only had 5 months with chemo in that period, and a lot of people used to say, "Well, you don't look sick. You look fine." So there's this sort of body image thing, and what it is that chemo's been so prevalent in the treatment of many cancers that we actually mistake the side effects and the chemo look, with cancer itself. In all our minds, we've been programmed to think like that. Now, I just want to share just a couple of images here. This is a photo of me about 8 weeks into chemo process, and the hair loss, and really looks like a different person. So that was just after about 8 weeks, and obviously there was side effects coming in. So really, those things I knew in my mind were actually side effects of the chemo, but it gets confused in your brain. You're really feeling like you're getting decrepit, like you've got no energy, etc., etc. And that kind of merges with your consciousness about, the prognosis they're still giving you, saying you're fading away. So that's our image. And so we have this image about cancer being, which is really the chemo look. But I just want to go back in this little period here, and I'll flick through just to show you how fast the change can come as the chemo kicks in. And I had it here a moment ago, maybe I've lost it. Here's a double image, which is instructive in a number of ways. On one side, on this first side, that was just in February, I had been aware that, just been made aware about my scans, and was waiting to get in the hospital. I had experiences in my family of chemo before, so I kind of grew a beard in some ways because I thought I might be likely to be facing chemo. And next to that is just 2 months later, 9th of May, is this other look where it was quite puffy, swollen up, and obviously hair loss and things. And so that was just literally, 8 weeks change. Now, the first photo in February, my right lungs were racked with tumours, 4 centimetre ones, and then quite a number of 1 centimetre ones, and all sorts of cells floating around. So the right lung was completely coated with tumours. I had the beginnings of nerve pain going through my ribs on that image from February, and then it was a fairly carefree looking photo. But that's how fast it changed. I kept that photo on the February throughout my treatment that year, and it was sort of in my mind for my own image to think, well, I am going to get past this baldness, I am going to get past all these aches and pains, and I'm going to get back to a point where I look healthy and carefree. And that was a long journey. I did think achieve it, and there was a bit, obviously, roller coasters with weight and activity, but again, I lost tumours dramatically when I was 88 kilos, and then I lost tumours in another batch when I was 81 kilos, probably the effects of a vegetarian diet. So even the weight doesn't give you a hint about cancer. Cancer is a cellular battle inside your body, and you obviously, in my case, I had been previously just a few months before this really overweight and looked unhealthy and looked very bad. But people who are in perfect health can have cellular change where the lung cancer or the other cancers begin to build up. So it is a cellular fight, and obviously it's not always visible. And again, then what we associate cancer with is actually probably associating the chemo effect. Both those photos, I'm extremely unhealthy. Both those photos, I'm in a point where I'm moving towards a death sentence. But in our image-driven world, we kind of confuse that. So it is really shapes our attitudes, these images. So if you look healthy and you've got chronic cancer, some people will be quite blasé to you and say, well, they're not really sick. And then if you've got chemo, and you may even have minor tumours, just the effects of it will make everyone think you're on death's door. So they're sort of things to be aware of, but and we, I think the more survivors have been documenting their daily struggles, the more we're getting a more realistic picture about what cancer, someone with stage 4 cancer actually looks like.